In 2017, the highly anticipated film It Chapter 1 was released, bringing to life the beloved Stephen King novel of the same name. The film, directed by Andy Muschietti, tells the story of a group of young outcasts who must face their fears and battle the monstrous entity known as Pennywise, also known as It. The film's success was met with widespread acclaim, grossing over $700 million worldwide, becoming one of the highest-grossing horror films of all time. The story begins in Derry, Maine, October of 1988. It begins with Bill Denbrough and his little brother Georgie building a paper sailboat, but Georgie's curiosity gets the better of him and he ventures into the sewer system where he encounters the monstrous entity Pennywise. Pennywise, also known as It, kills Georgie and drags him down into the sewers. 8 months later, the story shifts to June 1989. The Losers Club, a group of outcasts including Bill, Richie, Eddie, Ben, Stan, and Mike, are trying to start their summer. They are all experiencing strange and terrifying events which they soon discover are connected to It. The group decides to explore the sewers and uncover the truth about It. Along the way, they encounter various supernatural entities and face numerous challenges. They also discover that It has been terrorizing Derry for centuries and that they are the only ones who can stop it. As the group delves deeper into the mystery, they uncover more about It's true nature and its connection to their own town. They also learn that It has been manipulating them, playing on their deepest fears and desires. The story reaches its climax when the group decides to confront It in its lair. They find themselves face to face with the monster who is determined to destroy them. The group fights back using their combined strength and determination to overcome their fears. In the end, the group emerges victorious, but not without scars. They swear a blood oath to return to Derry in 27 years if It ever returns. The story ends with Bill and Bev sharing a kiss as they say goodbye to each other. The story is a classic tale of good versus evil, with a strong focus on friendship and the power of overcoming fear. It explores themes of childhood trauma, loss, and resilience, and features a memorable cast of characters. The story is also notable for its atmospheric setting and eerie tone, which adds to the sense of tension and foreboding. The making of It Chapter 1 was a complex and challenging process, but it was also a testament to the talent and dedication of the cast and crew. One of the most memorable moments during filming was when Jack Dylan Grazer, who played Eddie Kaspbrak, first encountered Pennywise, played by Bill Skarsgård. According to Grazer, Skarsgård's intense performance had him crying and gagging, with Skarsgård genuinely concerned for his well-being. Yet, when the camera stopped rolling, Grazer surprisingly composed himself and even complimented Skarsgård on his performance. Skarsgård was left impressed by Grazer's professionalism and composure. Another notable aspect of filming was the way Sophia Lillis, who played Beverly Marsh, had to adapt to her character's height. As the shortest member of the cast, Lillis had to stand on top of a box in several scenes to ensure that her character was properly positioned. The cast also improvised some of their dialogue, particularly in scenes between Eddie and Richie, played by Finn Wolfhard. Pennywise's drooling throughout the film was actually an unintended consequence of the teeth prosthetics that Skarsgård had to wear. Director Andy Muschietti felt that the drooling added to Pennywise's ravenous nature, so it was left in. Despite being one of the youngest cast members, Jackson Robert Scott, who played Georgie, was surprised by how little he was scared of Pennywise during filming. Skarsgård's friendly demeanor and sense of humor put him at ease. Bill Skarsgård did extensive research for his role as Pennywise, including watching classic horror films like The Shining and A Clockwork Orange. He also worked with a contortionist to develop his character's unsettling movements. When it came time to film scenes with Pennywise, Andy Muschietti took a unique approach. He kept Skarsgård separate from the child actors until they were needed on set, and warned them how scary he would be. However, despite their initial apprehension, the children were genuinely terrified when they finally encountered Pennywise. Despite playing such a despicable character, Bill Skarsgård was praised by the cast and crew for his kindness and professionalism. Janie Bryant, the film's costume designer, designed Pennywise's costume to reflect his immortality by combining elements from various eras throughout history. The film's special effects were also notable, with a mix of CGI and practical effects used to bring Pennywise to life. Skarsgård's ability to move his eyes in different directions added to his character's eeriness. In addition to the impressive performances and special effects, the film's attention to detail was also noteworthy. For instance, the film's costume designer included a nod to Tim Curry's Pennywise from the 1990s It miniseries. The making of It Chapter 1 was a complex and challenging process, but it was also a testament to the talent and dedication of the cast and crew. With its impressive performances and special effects and attention to detail, this film is a must-see for fans of horror and Stephen King. The movie explores several themes, including trauma, grief, and social isolation. One of the primary themes of the film is trauma. The main characters, including Bill, Beverly, Ben, Richie, Mike, and Eddie, are all haunted by traumatic experiences in their past. Bill's childhood is marked by the disappearance of his younger brother, Georgie, who is killed by Pennywise. This event has left Bill with a deep sense of guilt and responsibility for his brother's death. Beverly's home life is abusive, with her father physically and emotionally tormenting her. Ben's weight and physical appearance make him a target for bullying, while Richie's constant joking and wit serve as a defense mechanism to cope with his own insecurities. Eddie's constant fear of being rejected and abandoned makes him clingy and needy. These traumatic experiences have left the children with emotional scars that affect their relationships with each other and themselves. Another theme that is present throughout the film is grief. The characters' experiences with trauma are intertwined with their experiences of grief. The loss of Georgie serves as a catalyst for the group's formation and their quest to defeat Pennywise. However, the process of grieving is not easy or straightforward. The characters struggle to come to terms with their losses and find healthy ways to process their emotions. Bill's guilt and responsibility for his brother's death make it difficult for him to move on from his grief, while Beverly's experiences with abuse make it hard for her to open up about her feelings. The characters' grief serves as a motivator for their actions, but it also holds them back from fully embracing their emotions and moving forward. Finally, the film explores the theme of social isolation. The characters are all outsiders, who are marginalized by society due to their perceived differences and abnormalities. They are forced to come together as a group because they are all targeted by Pennywise, but they are also drawn to each other because they are kindred spirits who understand each other's struggles. Group's formation serves as a means of escape from their isolated lives, allowing them to find a sense of belonging and connection with others who understand them. However, even within the group, the characters struggle with feelings of isolation and disconnection. They are all dealing with their own personal demons and are unsure how to communicate effectively with each other. The character of Pennywise serves as a symbol of the destructive power of trauma and grief. He is a monster who feeds on the fear and pain of others, using their own emotions against them to lure them into his trap. He is a representation of the ways in which trauma can consume us and make it difficult to move forward from our experiences. The film suggests that facing our fears and confronting our emotions head-on is the only way to overcome trauma and grief. The supernatural subgenre has been a staple of horror since its inception, with films like The Exorcist, 1973, and The Omen, 1976, setting the stage for future classics like Poltergeist, 1982, and The Sixth Sense, 1999. However, in recent years, the subgenre has been seeing a resurgence in popularity, with films like Get Out 2017 and A Quiet Place 2018 pushing the boundaries of what is considered supernatural in horror. It Chapter 1 is a prime example of this resurgence, with its portrayal of a group of childhood friends who must band together to defeat an ancient, shape-shifting entity that preys on their small town every 27 years. The film's use of practical effects and its commitment to the source material's eerie atmosphere and sense of foreboding made it a standout in the horror genre. But what sets It Chapter 1 apart from other supernatural horror movies is its exploration of themes that are both timeless and timely. The film's depiction of childhood trauma, bullying, and the struggles of growing up in a small town resonated with audiences of all ages, making it a cultural phenomenon that transcended traditional horror fans' demographics. The film's success can also be attributed to its well-crafted characters and performances. The cast of young actors, including Jeremy Ray Taylor and Sophia Lillis, brought depth and nuance to their roles, making it easy for audiences to become invested in their characters' struggles. The chemistry between the cast members was palpable, making their interactions on screen feel authentic and relatable. Furthermore, It Chapter 1 was a major departure from the typical horror movie formula, which often relies on jump scares and cheap thrills to frighten audiences. Instead, the film focused on building tension and suspense through its use of atmospheric music, creepy settings, and clever camera work. The result was a film that was both frightening and emotionally resonant, making it a must-see for fans of the horror genre. One of the most striking aspects of It Chapter 1 is its ability to balance nostalgia and innovation. The film's nostalgic value lies in its faithful adaptation of King's novel, which has become a cultural touchstone for many horror fans. The film's visuals and atmosphere are deeply rooted in the spirit of the original novel, capturing the sense of small-town terror and camaraderie that makes it so beloved. At the same time, The film's modern approach to storytelling and character development brings a fresh perspective to the material, making it appealing to both old and new fans of the franchise. The film's success can also be attributed to its well-crafted narrative structure, which weaves together multiple storylines and character arcs to create a sense of tension and suspense. The pacing is deliberate and slow-burning, allowing the audience to become fully invested in the characters' lives and fears. The film's climax is both intense and emotional, as the Loser Club faces off against Pennywise in a thrilling showdown that will leave even the most seasoned horror fans on edge. The film's portrayal of its young cast is also noteworthy. The actors bring a level of authenticity and vulnerability to their roles, making it easy for audiences to become emotionally invested in their characters' struggles. The chemistry between the actors is undeniable, and their performances are all more impressive given their relatively young ages. But perhaps the most lasting legacy of It Chapter 1 is its impact on popular culture. The film's success spawned a wave of It-inspired merchandise, from toys and clothing to tattoos and art. The film's iconic imagery, particularly Pennywise's eerie smile and red balloons, has become synonymous with horror and has referenced in countless memes, parodies, and homages. It Chapter 1 is an important addition to both the supernatural subgenre and horror in general. The film's use of practical effects, nostalgic setting, and exploration of themes make it a standout in both categories. Its success has paved the way for more horror films that explore complex themes and offer fresh takes on traditional horror tropes. As such, It Chapter 1 will be remembered as one of the most important horror films in recent years. As we conclude our journey through the twisted world of Derry, Maine, and the terror that lurks within the sewers beneath, we're left with a sense of unease that lingers long after the credits roll. The monstrous form of Pennywise, the dancing clown, still haunts our minds, his maniacal laughter echoing through the darkness. But fear not, dear viewers, for our journey is far from over. Next week we'll be diving back into the world of It as we dissect the 2019 sequel, It Chapter 2. Will the Losers Club be able to vanquish their fears and defeat Pennywise once and for all, or will they succumb to the horrors that lurk in the shadows? Join us next week on Celluloid Asylum as we continue our descent into madness and explore the darker corners of cinema. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more horror analysis that will keep you up at night. Until next time, stay sane, if you can.